Aye, we give you the facts. It's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
Greetings, viewers and subscribers. So we are still on the Spurtree Hill. We are now in the parish of Manchester. Let me ask you something, and be truthful. Did you know that Vere was once a parish of Jamaica? Yes, man, the parish of Vere. It was abolished in 1866 and it was merged into the parish of Clarendon. But before Vere was abolished as a parish, on November 29, 1814, coffee farmers in the hill districts of Clarendon, St. Elizabeth and the then parish of Vere, they petitioned to have a separate parish established. They asked for a new parish with a capital which would meet their religious, civic, judicial and administrative needs. The main reason for this action was the vast distance between the hill districts and the commercial and administrative centers of the three parishes. Now, on December 13th, 1814, the new parish called Manchester was formed. It was named after the Duke of Manchester, who was then serving as the governor of the island of Jamaica. The capital, it was named Mandeville after his son. Continue to sit back, continue to relax, and continue to enjoy this journey with me. Now, my viewers, my subscribers, I know a whole heap of you have been sending in birthday greetings. I am trying my best to put things in place so I can restart sending out the birthday greetings video, but we aren't there as yet. I am really hoping to start again shortly because there are some behind the scenes issues that I have to work out. But that lady on your screen, she's called Sharon, she's called Susan. She's living in Brooklyn, in New York, in the United States of America. Susan was one of the first subscribers to this channel. Susan is celebrating her birthday today. Susan or Sharon, enough respect. And thank you, Thank you for the continued support. Let's hope that today you're going to be pampering yourself. Susan, we are wishing you long life and good health. Me know, Susan, me know. Me can't tell you nothing about prosperity. Anyway, bless up your nice, clean self. Alright? Now, in today's news, that man on your screen, his name is Nick Dimmit. He was 45 years old and he lived in the state of Michigan in the United States of America. Nick was said to be bipolar. Nick was married and he was also a father. Now, Nick, he arrived in Jamaica about 3 or 4 days ago. He arrived with his wife and they were staying at the Rio Ocho Rios Hotel in the parish of St. Ann. We are learning that Monday night, October 17th, 2022, Nick and his wife, they had an argument. It is said that the wife, she left Nick in their hotel room and she went to have dinner. When she returned to the hotel room about some minutes after 12 midnight and tried to enter the room, she couldn't enter it because from all indication, Nick had bolted the door from the inside. It is alleged that she woke up persons who were staying in the next room and she was able to go onto the balcony for the room that she was staying in. When she looked in the room, she saw her husband, Nick. He was hanging from the front door with a belt tied around his neck. The hotel security and the police, they were alerted and Nick, he was taken down, but it was too late. He was pronounced DEAD by a doctor at the hotel. The police, they are saying that no marks of violence was seen on Nick's body and it is suspected that Nick, he took his own 3 points. Sad indeed. Condolences to the family and friends of Nick Dimmit. Now, in this next story, do you remember that article in the Jamaica Star? Well, it was also in other newspapers as well. What had happened is that in March of 2020, in the height of the corona pandemic, a voice note was being circulated. In the voice note, a man was heard saying that he had spoken to Marlene Malahoo Fort and she had advised him that the parish of Westmoreland would be locked down. That voice note, it caused a lot of panic and unease throughout the parish of Westmoreland. Well, it turned out that the information in the voice note was false. The police, they commenced investigation and the man who allegedly sent out that voice note, he was identified. Now, look good on the article. His name is Zavian Patterson. He was 37 years old at the time and he lived in the parish of Westmoreland. Truth be told, Zavian, he's a very good and well-known photographer in the parish of Westmoreland. He owns and operates Zavian's Photography. If you should visit Zavian's Facebook page, you would see Zavian covering a whole heap of events. So, like I was saying, the police, they identified the alleged mastermind behind the voice note and they put out a release stating that Zavian Patterson, he was a person of interest. On March 29, 2020, Zavian was handed over to the Westmoreland police by his lawyer. Zavian, he was charged for the offense of creating public mischief and he went before the courts. The case subsequently went to trial and even Marlene Malahoo Fort, she attended court and she gave evidence. Now, at the end of the trial, Zavian was found not guilty by the judge who stated that there was not enough evidence to convict him. But last night, Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, about 7 o'clock, a team of police officers, they were on patrol in the Good Hope area, in the Little London police area, in the parish of Westmoreland. When on reaching the intersection of Good Hope and St. Paul, a group of men, they were seen standing beside a bar. The police, they stopped to make checks and they observed that one of the men in the group, he was acting suspiciously. The police, they are saying that he had a bulge in the front of his pants waist. A search was requested by the police of this man. He was searched and bingo, the police removed from his waistband one black Luger 9mm pistol, affixed with a magazine containing 9 rounds of 9mm cartridges, plus another round in the breech, or as most Jamaicans would say, one in the head. It was discovered that this gun is illegal. As a result, this man, he was arrested and charged for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. This man, he was identified as the same Zavian Patterson, now 39 years old. The same well-known photographer who was recently acquitted by the courts for creating public mischief. Zavian, he will be going to the courts shortly to face the judge. But congratulations to the Westmoreland police for making this recovery. Job well done. Now, this next incident, it took place early yesterday morning, Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, about 7:30. It took place at Coke Road in Glendevon in Montego Bay in the parish of St. James. We are learning that a man, his name is Rowan James, but he was popularly known as Ranny. This Christmas Eve, December 24th, Ranny would be celebrating his 45th birthday. He lived at Coke Road in Glendevon. We are learning that Ranny, he's a mason. He got ready and was about to leave to work, but 2 hoodlums, they decided that no work for Ranny today. Today, a dirt for Ranny. So, what we are learning is that Ranny, he was standing outside his gate when the 2 hoodlums who were out there waiting on him, they walked up to him, brandished guns and opened gunfire at Ranny. Ranny, he managed to run off into a neighbor's yard, but the hoodlums, they chased him and caught up with him. It is said that the hoodlums, they stood over Ranny and pumped several bullets into his body. Both hoodlums, they then made good their escape on foot in the area. From all indication, Ranny died on the spot. The police were called and we are told that when they processed this crime scene, 18 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. However, we are getting reports that over 25 bullets were fired at Ranny. So it is likely that not all the spent shells were found by the police. Also, we are learning that the killing of Ranny is most likely the restarting of an old war in that area. It is said that Ranny, he is related to a well-known person from Glendevon who is now facing the courts on a murder charge, but he's out on bail. It is said that Ranny, he was killed by members of a rivaling gang of that person who is out on bail. The mayhem. Now, in this next incident, it took place last night, Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, about 8 o'clock. It took place at Salmon Street in the Grange Hill area in the parish of Westmoreland. Now, that man on your screen, his name is Adrian Brown, but he's popularly known as AntsMan or Donovan. He was 35 years old and he lived at Crowder in the same Grange Hill area in the parish of Westmoreland. Now, AntsMan, he was said to be someone who is always working. He was employed to a popular auto parts store in Savannah Lamar in the parish of Westmoreland. It is said that AntsMan, he also owned several heads of cattle. Yesterday evening, he went to Salmon Street where his cows are located and he went to tend to them. By the time he had finished tending to them, it was nightfall, so he went to check with a family member who lived in the same area. AntsMan, he then left to go home. It is said that shortly after he left, loud explosions sounding like gunshots were heard. The police were called, and when they went and made checks, AntsMan was seen lying on his back with gunshot wounds to his head and his upper body. From all indication, AntsMan died on the spot. We are told that when this crime scene was processed, 6 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to do it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, remember, hit on the subscribe button, as also hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we upload a new video, you will be the first person to be notified. Because over here, we give you credible news. Over here, we do our research. We get the behind the scenes details and we bring the stories to you. So keep on telling a friend to tell a friend. Now, in the final story for today, the Montego Bay hip strip. Do you know the Montego Bay hip strip? Yeah man, that stretcher road, it's now called Jamaica Boulevard or Bottom Road. It is formerly Gloucester Avenue. Yeah man, that's same stretcher road. Like you're going to the airport, the Bottom Road. Now, that hip strip, in the day, lot of commercial activities goes on there. You have duty-free shopping, casino, restaurants, you name it. You can find it on the hip strip of Montego Bay. Now, in the nights, anytime after 7 o'clock until about some minutes to 6 in the mornings, another commercial activity is added. Do you know what that is? You don't? So, let me ask you something. Do you know what is the world's oldest profession? You don't know? Well, prostitution is the world's most oldest profession. This is not about whether we like or we don't like the profession. This is about reality. That profession has been around for a long time and there is nothing you nor I can do to stop it. So, it's the reality. So, in the nights, females from all over Jamaica, they converge on the hip strip of Montego Bay trying to make some money. Now, in recent times, we are learning that some males, they started converging on the area also. These males, what they do is, they dress up like females. They wear wigs, they wear makeups, you name it. Now, truth be told, some males, they know that these guys are not females, but they still go there and patronize them. Do you know what that means? You don't? Well, you're going to have to figure out that one day for yourself, but it is true. Some males know that these guys are males, but they still go patronize them. Now, some males who go to them, they have no idea that these guys are males. They think that it's females. Now, I am learning that about 4 weeks ago, a guy went to one of these males and paid him for certain services. The guy, he then found out that the guy that he had paid was a male, and it is said that that guy, he left and he returned with some friends. The guys who were disguising as women, they were attacked, and at least 2 of them were hurt. One was chopped in his head with a machete, and another one, he was stabbed in his abdomen. We are learning that the one who was chopped in his head, he went to the Barnett Street police station where he made a report to the police. We are also learning that the police, they had received intelligence, and the police, they went on this trip and they warned these guys, telling them to stay away from the area because there is intelligence that guys from a nearby community were planning on killing them. They didn't take the warning serious. So early yesterday morning, Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, about some minutes to 4 o'clock or thereabout, we are told that 3 of these males, dressed and disguised as females, they were on the street, close to where Harmony Park is, when a black Voxy with red license plate drove up and stopped. We are told that at least 3 guys came out of the Voxy. About 15 minutes later, gunshots were heard, and the 3 guys who had came out of the Voxy, they were seen running back into the Voxy. The Voxy then sped away. It was then realized that someone was shot. At first glance, passers-by, they thought it was a female. The police were called, and when they made checks, it was concluded that it was a male. He had received gunshot wounds to his head, and it is suspected that he died on the spot. We are also learning that this guy, he was wearing a blonde wig. His chest was padded to make it appear as if he had big breasts. He was also carrying a pink bag, and in that bag was a small machete and a whole heap of feminine items. We are told that when this crime scene was processed, 2 9mm pen shells were recovered from the scene. We are also learning that late yesterday evening, this male who was killed, he was identified. His name is Marvin Griffith, and he's in his mid-20s. We are not sure exactly where Marvin is from, but Marvin, he played a dangerous game and he ended up winning a dangerous prize. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Popeye Newslink and PNL Blog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them knock out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane, everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica, the land of the sun. Jamaica become now the